Let's get and welcome everyone. Excited to be with you this Wellness Wednesday. And gosh, how great has this been? For those of you that are here for the first time, if you're a guest, we want to welcome you this evening. We are hosting these consistently every Wednesday, and the purpose of these are to empower you to take back your health and to educate you on what we believe to be the biggest breakthrough of our time. And I have to tell you, tonight you're in for a real treat. We have Dr. Dondee Nettles on with us this evening. And I've had the pleasure and the blessing of knowing him now. Goodness, gosh, it must be almost 10 years, Dondee. Is that about the time that you've been in as well with LifeVantage? I think it's about that. So him and his wife, Marcy, are just incredible leaders. They are heart-centered leaders. And Dr. Dondee has a very, very amazing background. He's worked really hard. He was one of the most leading and successful chiropractors in all of Arizona. And I say that you've been retired now because of this opportunity. Dr. Nettles, I love that. So congratulations. And you do it because you have built a business from your heart. You're passionate about these products. And there's nobody better to learn from tonight than you in regards to our brand new product, Activated Collagen. And so for those of you that are seeing this for the first time tonight, maybe you're a guest, maybe you saw one of those incredible testimonial pictures on Facebook, maybe your best friend sent you a text and you were blown away. Well, it's not just the looks of this product, it's not just about the collagen, it's more than skin deep. And Dr. Dondee has spent a lifetime educating people. He's very well respected as a doctor and also ran a podcast, which I think is great. And I think an AM PM radio show, like you were actually the radio show host, is that correct? Wow, that's impressive. It's that awesome voice of yours. So with that being said, guys, I am going to turn it over to Dr. Dondee tonight, and just excited to learn from you, Dr. Dondee. And I know everybody is going to walk away with great knowledge. So it's all yours.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Jenny. Can you hear me okay? All right, let me before actually I share my screen, I just want to kind of talk to everybody. And first of all, thank you so much for the invitation to speak to this amazing audience on Wellness Wednesday. I'm going to do my part to help you understand, one, the power of the liquid collagen that you have in your hands, whether you've already put it in your body or not. I'm hoping at the end of the time we spend together tonight, not only will you want to, if you haven't yet, but you're going to tell everybody about it, because I'm going to walk you through an educational process. And as interesting as fate would have it, just as we started tonight, we have a landscaper next door who's got his blower on. So if you hear some background noise, that's what's happening. I got a landscaper in the background. But thank you for the introduction, Jenny. Thank you so much again for the honor to be speaking to your audience and to the Wellness Wednesday audience. Thank you all for taking responsibility for, one, wanting to learn more, and two, wanting to figure out how to upregulate and up-level your lives from an activation standpoint. So, as Jenny said, my background is in health and wellness. I was a family wellness chiropractor for many, many years. And toward the end of my chiropractic career, I was also an AM talk radio host, because my passion is to educate people and empower people to be self-sufficient with their health. So they don't have to rely on any doctors, including myself, but they take control of their own health. I feel so blessed tonight because some of my former patients are actually on tonight. Jolene from Sioux Falls, South Dakota. She moved away from Arizona. And when we did the LifeVantage Academy out in Sioux Falls a couple months ago, I wasn't able to reconnect with her in person, but I was able to talk with somebody who introduced. We're now talking again. And it's just an honor, because Jolene was part of that movement, that passion of mine to educate and empower people that went from my office into the airwaves. But there was a challenge with that, because the more successful my practice got, the more time I spent away from home. And I became a parent during that process. And when my 3-year-old son was at home without a daddy and my newborn daughter was at home without a daddy, it broke my heart. At the height of my professional career, I was at the lowest point of my personal life. And 350 to 500 patients a week were coming through my office, many of them children. But I realized I was spending more time with other people's children than I was my own. I wasn't even home to share bedtime stories with them, because when I left, they were asleep. And when I got home, they were asleep. And reading to a sleeping child, there's no interaction. There's no imagination development. And I realized I was at this place that always brings me to tears when I think about it, because my passion was to educate people. But my passion was also to take that passion to educate people and instill that in my children so they can become wonderful human beings. And I wasn't given the opportunity to do that with my former chiropractic career and my AM talk radio show. So I was looking for something different to be part-time doctor, part-time daddy. And as God would have it, he decided otherwise. He gave me Life Vantage. He gave me the opportunity to take what I knew, my passion, and take it not just in my town when my practice is open, but to a global audience that is operating 24/7. That includes all of you. I never would have known most of you, with the exception of Jolene, had I not got a part of Life Vantage. So now, just perspective wise, we are influencing the world 24 hours a day, not just when my practice is open. And here's really the cool part. Every minute my practice was open was a minute away from my children. And I don't have to do that anymore. And as Marcy said before we went live, my beautiful wife, Marcy, who's also on, we met in this business. She was part of our organization. We were going through different chapters of our lives. Tomorrow, it will be the 10-year anniversary that we held hands for the first time. And this December 20th will be our 9-year anniversary. So Life Vantage has literally been the most personally and professionally blessed decision I've ever made. And I'm hoping to share some of that with you guys tonight. So I'm going to now share my screen with you and show you what I want to empower you to understand relative to what you have okay, and where is my PowerPoint presentation? Can you see my PowerPoint presentation?
Looks great. We're there.
You guys see it? Okay. So we're going to talk about True Science, liquid collagen, and joint health. And for those of you who are guests, for those of you who don't know yet what liquid collagen is, especially True Science liquid collagen, let me just tell you, get out something to write with, fasten your seatbelts if you want to, and give yourself permission to go beyond what you may have previously known, especially if you're already using some form of collagen that is not liquid and it is not True Science liquid collagen. Because here's a quote I love from a gentleman by the name of BJ Palmer. And he said this: "It's what you learn after you think you know it all that matters." And I'm hoping that applies tonight. We're going to be talking about True Science liquid collagen and joint health. And I want to first start by giving you the all-star introduction. This is the star of the hour. It is the True Science liquid collagen and the difference it's making. We're going to talk about what is collagen, why did we choose liquid, and how is ours different, especially for those of you who are drinking or taking collagen of any kind. If you're already taking collagen, drop a 1 in the chat. I want to know who the collagen peeps are out there, because it's literally everywhere. Whether you do some of the celebrities, I'm not going to mention her name, but she is the one whose hair hasn't changed in the cast of the show Friends, who's talking about collagen nowadays. So everyone knows about collagen. Everybody's taking collagen. People are jumping on the collagen bandwagon in record numbers. But what they don't know is they're only having one facet of why collagen is beneficial. There's 2 others that they're not talking about, because secret be out, they're not utilizing it. And we're going to talk about the differences tonight. And the first one is why collagen. Let's just talk about, why does anybody even care about collagen? Well, the answer is very, very simple. Let me minimize my screen so the windows are open. Okay, so now collagen is a structural protein, meaning it makes up who you are. It is a structural protein in the human body that makes up about 25 to 35% of all the protein in your body. And the body produces collagen proteins from amino acids, which you get from the foods that you eat. Consider it the building blocks. And I'll go kind of a deep dive into that here in a bit. So this process starts to steeply decline. Look at the wording there. Steeply decline around the age of 30. So if you are approaching 30, if you are 30, if you're north of 30, 30 is kind of a dividing line. It is a parameter in which collagen and the collagen in your body starts to go down from a natural production standpoint, which is why you need it. It's why you get replenished and you take a collagen supplement. But it leads to a large reduction in collagen density, which can lead to joint problems and affect the quality of your life. So the next thing with regard to collagen is, why a liquid? Because there's powdered forms out there. There's other forms out there. Why liquid? Well, large collagen proteins, they are pieces and they're hard to digest. They're usually pretty large. So they need to be broken down by enzymes. Enzymes are something that take big things and make them small things, so you absorb the small things. That's why it's liquid. The True Science liquid collagen uses hydrolyzed collagen, chopped up into smaller pieces so your body doesn't have to break it down. So it already comes basically broke down, so you don't have to mix it in something, put it in a smoothie and stir it up and blend it up to break it down. It's already broke down, if you want to say that. So it's easier to digest, and this makes it easier to absorb and utilize. Hydrolyzed collagen pieces are highly water soluble. And guess what? You are mostly water. So when something is water soluble and you are mostly water, it will be easily digested. And if you guys have a mic, please mute your mic and be responsible and let everyone else be able to hear this process tonight. So it's water soluble, whereas regular collagen is not. So the most efficient form is a liquid. This is called high bioavailability. In other words, high absorbability. And if it's not the collagen that you take that matters, it's the collagen you absorb that matters. So when it already starts liquid, you're already well down that absorption pathway. So FYI, I'm going to reiterate, collagen is the most prevalent protein in your body, which is why it's now available in everywhere you look. So, but we got to start with that basic understanding. So now let's talk about collagen, and specifically type 1. Type 1 of all the types of collagen is by far the most prevalent form of collagen in your body. In fact, it makes up nearly 90% of the collagen you have in your body is type 1. You find it in things like your TMJ, your temporomandibular joint. And so for people that use their jaws to talk a lot like I'm doing right now, it's important to have good TMJ discs. How about your intervertebral discs? The bones of your spine have a disc between them. They are made of collagen, specifically type 1 collagen. How about your ears? Most people don't really worry about their ears, but it is type 1 collagen primarily as well. And the knee meniscus, that is part of the cartilage that holds your knee together on the inside. Types of collagen is very prevalent in your skeletal system, okay? 90% of the collagen in your body is type 1, and it makes up your structure. Remember, it's a structural protein, but it is also a connective tissue protein. So type 1 collagen plays a major role in the connective tissue of your body. Like Dr. Brett Brimhall says, it's the glue that holds your body together, from your eyes, your muscles, your skin, your tendons and ligaments, your heart valve, your cardiovascular system, your blood vessels, adipose tissue, which is the fat cells in your body, and your bones. So your connective tissue and your structural system is primarily collagen, which is why it's important. And remember the age it starts to not just decline, but steeply decline. 30. Yes, keep 30, the age of 30 in the back of your mind at all times, because that's when collagen starts to decline. So question, so collagen plays a role in my neck joints. It's part of your spine. So the answer is yes. So does collagen play a role in my ankle joints? Because it's part of your skeletal system. The answer is yes. So is there any collagen in my knee joints? The answer is, oh, yes, there is, because it's obviously a joint. How about my shoulder joints? How about your jaw joint? Yep, your TMJ. We talked about that earlier. Now, it's there too. So can collagen fix my pain in the ass? Pardon me for my frankness, but it really depends on where the pain in the ass is coming from. If it's your spouse, probably not, unless they started to drink liquid collagen after tonight, then maybe there's a good possibility. But if it has to do with the muscles, the tendons, the ligaments, the joints that are around your hips, then yes, we can make big difference in that when drinking liquid collagen. So if you're a husband and you're watching this, I hope I didn't offend you with that. Just want to make a little light so we can laugh a little bit, because laughter means people let their guards down, and their people learn more after they laugh. So let's talk now about building blocks, okay? If you're parents and you've ever read the Three Little Pigs story to your kids, put a 2 in the chat. If you're a parent and you know about the Three Little Pigs, put a 2 in the chat, even if you've never read it. But here's the why would I be talking about the Three Little Pigs? Because if you remember the story, they all built homes. Guess what? You're building the home you live in. It's called your body. And if you remember from what I've just been sharing with you, the main structural component of your body is collagen. So if you're building a house and you're a pig, and the first one there is straw, and then the next one is wood, and the final one is bricks, they're all homes. They may even be the same dimensions, but let's apply it to real life. What does this have to do with real life? So let's use the pig example of straw. You're building tissue, you're building collagen, you're building muscle, you're building bone, you're building ligaments and tendons and hair and skin and nails and all the things that collagen makes up. But you're doing it with the building blocks of fast food or packaged and processed food or sweets and heavy carbohydrates, and you're under a lot of stress and you have a pretty sedentary life. What kind of a home are you going to be building when you're using that as your raw materials? Let's just get common sense. Raw materials equals the finished product of the home you're going to be living in from a quality standpoint. If you are in a home, there's a difference of whether it's a home made out of straw and mud or a home made out of brick. Very simple to understand. Well, how about the middle example, the wood example? It's sturdier than straw and mud. And these people say they're eating nutritious food. They may be making homemade meals and they're exercising regularly. They're taking supplements and they're getting good rest. All good, healthy things to do, but they're reactive. What does that mean? They wait until a symptom crops up. They wait till something goes wrong. Then they go try to seek out a medical professional to find out what's going on. And they're intervening in a reactive process. In other words, they're waiting for something to happen before they fix it or before they get on top of it, even though they may be having a good quality lifestyle, considering nutrition, exercise, and stress. But what's the best possible scenario here? Whole organic foods, homemade foods, yes, especially single ingredient foods, regular exercise, supplements, good rest, being proactive, doing things so that you don't have to worry about the breakdown, and being activated. So we can, for those of you who are already in LifeVantage, you can see the difference in the approaches here of home building. But what difference does it make? It's all a home. The only time it makes a difference is when stress and challenges happen. Then you determine the supremacy of a brick house over a straw house, because the straw house comes crumbling down. So whether that is stress from financial stress, emotional stress, job stress, kids stress, oxidative stress, whatever kind of stress you are enduring, your cells are also enduring, and the building blocks that you made those cells from are going to determine how well you weather that storm. I hope you understand the analogy, because there's many of you that get it when it comes to three pigs, but if you go look in your refrigerator and your pantry, you might smack yourself upside the head. I want to educate you not just on the liquid collagen and the benefits of that, but a lifestyle, the whole proactivity of being activated. It really doesn't matter if everything else you're ignoring. If you're living on fast food, packaged and processed foods, you don't sleep very well, you're stressed out, activation will help you, but it's really not going to make that much of a difference, because it's the building blocks, the understanding, the common sense approach you take to life that matters. And then you throw the activated nature on top of that and proactivity, and you are living a wellness lifestyle. So principle number one, I want you to think about. But now you may be thinking about decisions you've already made, or I told you to go look in your refrigerator and your pantry, and you don't have to go look to go, okay, I'm probably more like the straw house pig than I am the brick pig. That's okay, because I want to talk to you about 3 time periods in your life. One is what happened in the past. Consider it the rear view mirror. In a car, do you drive by looking in the rearview mirror, or do you drive looking forward? Don't worry about what happened in the past. You can't change it. Whether it was trauma, whether you're over 100 pounds overweight, whether you're in a toxic relationship, doesn't matter. What happened in the past is in the past. Leave it there. Focus on number 2 and number 3. What is happening now? especially after you get the information I want to share with you. And then 3, what is going to change in the future if you already see some loopholes or some things you need to shore up. Maybe you need to put some stucco on that wood house, or even better yet, tear down that wood house and let's start building a brick house that's going to withstand and go with you through the aging process in a proactive, activated way, rather than waiting for something to break down before you take action. So now let's talk about when you are armed with information. And as I said in the beginning, I want to give you information. Give me a 3 in the chat if you want information and you're following me so far. Put a 3 in the chat if you're following what I'm saying and you want more information, because my goal is to arm you with information so you can help people, starting with you and your own family. So please allow me to arm you. And I'm using ARM as an acronym here for activate, replenish, and maintain, because the A and the M are why we are different, why True Science Liquid Collagen is different than all the other collagen sources out there, because all the other collagen, whether it's in powder, whether it's liquid, whether it's bovine, whether it's marine, whatever it is all focused on the replenish, because most people who make collagen know that your body steeply declines the natural production of collagen after the age of 30, which is why their product is on the market. They're focusing on the replenish, and a lot of them do it very well. Nothing wrong with that, but they're not capitalizing on the activate portion and the maintain portion, which is what separates our True Science Liquid Collagen from all the others out there. So what does it really mean? So I want you to say it first. I want you to get used to saying it. Say it with me. Activate, replenish, maintain. Put a 4 in the chat if you actually said it with me. I'm going to give you a chance to redeem yourself if you didn't. Say it with me. Activate, replenish, maintain. Put a 4 in the chat if you did that. And thank you for participating. So now you're armed, okay? Bad humor, but now you're armed. Activate, replenish, maintain. Look at these mannequin arms. You'll never forget that acronym again. Activate, replenish, maintain. Okay, so now let's get into, all right, so my computer looks like it's deciding to update while we're talking. So hopefully you guys can talk. So I'm going to just kind of share with you what I want to do again is I want to focus on educating you so that you have the power to, 1, be able to influence others who are seeking knowledge. Hopefully you are also seeking knowledge. It's the seeking of knowledge that separates your current and your past from your present. And all right, so I'm just going to keep talking until let me see if I can get out of this. I've got that little color spinner. All right, I think you guys can still hear me. So, all right, so I'm just going to go ahead and punt. So on this, I want to talk to you guys now about what is this, why is it important, and why should you even care? Because collagen, as I said, starts to steeply decline after you hit 30. And that's important because most of us want to live past 30, right? Okay, let me go back and pick up where it left off. All right, so good joint health means you're flexible, you have mobility, and you can move well. That's what a joint is for. That's why we have joints, because we need to be flexible. We need to have mobility and we need to move around, especially as upright ambulatory people. Good joint health means we can do that. Unfortunately, bad joint health means we struggle with those things. We have tension, we have immobility, we have pain. And maybe if it progresses and it stays and becomes chronic, we may have even more. Things like bad joint pain can lead to things like, you see those yellow, red areas. We're talking hip surgery. Hip replacement surgery is unfortunately a very, very common surgery in today's modern world because a lot of people have hip joints that are deteriorating because they're living in that straw and mud house rather than in the brick house because of lifestyle. You don't ever wake up with a degenerated joint. You earn it. Most people, and I'm going to say this bluntly, and hopefully it doesn't offend anybody, but it wakes you up. Most people are digging their graves very slowly with their fork, not a knife or not a backhoe, not a shovel. They're digging their grave with their fork because what goes in you becomes you. That's important. And think when you have bad joint health, it can lead to things like hip surgeries, or it could lead to things like knee replacement surgeries. Very, very common because it's one of the most used joints in your body, or lower back surgery. One of the things I loved about being a chiropractor was helping people prevent this by showing them how to take care of their degenerating back, even though it was already degenerating, but being proactive from that point forward, because you can avoid these things if you avoid the things that cause the degeneration, which is bad bone and joint health. So let's talk about now, but you may be saying, well, we live in the most technologically advanced medical and surgical procedures in the modern world. And we have the best hospitals, the best universities, the best teaching facilities, and the most highly trained doctors. And you would be correct on every one of those. However, that is the reactive approach. By the time this appeals to you, you're already living in the house of straw and mud that has come crashing down around you. So I would just tell you this. If you're excited about this, think about this. There are no erasers on scalpels. Surgeries are permanent. And before people opt for surgery, there is usually years and years and years of enduring chronic pain first. They're finally going to surgery because they're tired of the pain. Well, what is the cause of pain? When we're talking about the 3 surgeries that I just mentioned to you, in hip surgery, knee surgery, and lower back surgery, it is degenerating joints. And guess what all of those joints have in common? Collagen. Every part of the joint, the bones, the cartilage in the joints, the muscles, the tendons, the ligaments. And let me just kind of share with you that ingredients list that I just mentioned. So the bones are what hold you upright. The muscles are what keep your bones moving. The tendons are what holds the muscles to the bones, and the ligaments are what hold bones to other bones. It's all the connective tissue. And then you've got the fascia and the skin that make up who you are. All of that stuff is collagen. And if you can maintain it, if you can activate it, if you can replenish it while you're going through life, whether you're approaching 30, you are 30, or you're north of 30, the longer you can avoid the sharp end of the scalpel, the better off you're going to be. And that is proactivity and being activated. So it's best to take care of what we have while we have it. Wouldn't you say? It's kind of like the Fram commercial. If you remember that from the 80s, you can pay me now, or you can pay me later. In other words, change your oil so you don't have to buy a whole new engine. What does oil have to do with an engine? It keeps it lubricated. It keeps the moving parts working properly so they don't break down. Guess what collagen does for your joints? The same thing. Whether it's the collagen, the fluid in the joints, the muscles, the tendons, the ligaments, the bones, everything that surrounds a joint is made of collagen, mostly collagen, and then you take care of it, it will take care of you. Your family deserves great joint health with True Science Liquid Collagen. So again, the activate, replenish, maintain. I want you to get used to saying this, because when people ask, why is your collagen different? Because we may already have a liquid collagen that I'm using, and it may already be marine collagen. But the question is, does it activate your body's natural production of collagen? Does it replenish? Of course it does. That I give you. But does it maintain the collagen that you have longer? That's the question. And most of them are going to go, nope, never thought of that, because they can't say that. That's what separates us. So I want you to get used to saying activate, replenish, maintain, because it is what makes our True Science Liquid Collagen different than everyone out there. So what does the research say? Because I don't want to give you my opinion. I want to tell you what researchers are saying about collagen. And we don't have published research yet on the True Science Liquid Collagen, but we do. There is a plethora of collagen research out there. And let me share with you what I mean by that. It is of interest. It's trending, to use modern words. So if you just go to pubmed.gov and type in collagen in joint health in the search, this is what you'll see. And if you see that little bar graph to the left, it says results by year. Let me share with you how this has become a new modern trend for looking at research. If you look at the one on the bottom, in the year 2000, it was only 22 years ago, there was only 21 studies published about collagen in joint health in the entire year of 2000, just over 22 years ago. How about last year? Look at that by comparison, 266. studies published on collagen in joint health last year. And so far this year, and we're not even through July yet, there's already 152. So we're already on pace to break 300. As you can see, this gets higher and higher and higher every year because more and more people, not just the former cast of Friends, is interested in collagen, which is why you should be interested in collagen. This is the thing. If you are proactive and you are paying attention to what researchers and scientists are paying attention to, you will be proactive. If you wait and you wait and you wait until there's decades of published research, then you're being proactive at the time, but you could have done it many, many, many years earlier. And remember, the age of 30, after you're north of 30, it steeply declines your production of collagen. But scientists and researchers and doctors are into studying this, so you should be into looking at it too. Well, this is a study when I typed in collagen and ankle injury, because the ankle is one of the most injured joints in the world and very common, especially in people that are upright and mobile, which you should be, and especially in athletes. Well, this study on collagen in ankle injuries talks about the improvement of functional ankle properties following supplementation with specific collagen peptides in athletes with chronic ankle instability. Now, remember, this is not a research study about our True Science liquid collagen. This is a research study about collagen peptides, the little amino acids that you break down into collagen. It's not our product, but listen to what they said in the conclusion. These data support the concept that specific collagen peptide supplementation in athletes with chronic ankle instability results in significant, look at the word choice, significant improvements in subjective perceived ankle stability, meaning the person with the ankle is perceiving it's more stable significantly. The reduction in the re-injury rate of ankle sprains in the follow-up period suggests that these findings have clinical relevance. So in lay terms, what that means is the people that had recurring ankle injuries are now less likely to have it because they determine that their ankles are more stable after taking collagen peptides. Well, guess what our True Science liquid collagen is made of? Collagen peptides. And it also has this awesome ingredient called ruby red quinoa that allows your body to produce more of its own collagen, which it had slowly and steeply declined in doing so since the age of 30. And it also maintains, because of the citrus, it maintains the collagen that you have longer. Important point here. So your joints need collagen for healthy cartilage. Collagen plays a very significant role in your joint's ability to move. Remember, mobility is important. While some kinds of collagen appear in your skin, bones, and organs, type 2 collagen is present in your cartilage. Collagen is present in your cartilage, or cartilage stretches over the ends of your bones. Think, why is it there? Because it makes it frictionless. At the end of your bones, 2 cartilage surfaces rub together. There's no friction. That's why you have ease of movement. However, it's the cartilage that keeps joints sliding, bending, and moving smoothly. But when the collagen helps the cartilage and your joint stay flexible and absorb shocks. However, as you age, remember, 30 and above, cartilage gets depleted, steeply depleted. Years of joints rubbing together breaks down cartilage, leading to aches and pains. And unfortunately, aging leads to collagen loss over time. When your collagen becomes depleted, your joints suffer. Low collagen levels lead to looser cartilage and tendons, which can make injuries more likely. Remember the ankle study we just talked about. So replacing lost collagen can calm your joint stiffness and your pain. Without the right amount of collagen, your cartilage can become compromised and joint conditions become an increased risk. In fact, research shows that the aging-related loss of collagen, remember, north of 30, can lead to a higher risk of degenerative joint disorders. Put a 5 in the chat if you know somebody north of 30 that is probably not using collagen presently, who you're going to reach out pretty quickly and tell them about it. Put a 5 in the chat if you know somebody who's over 30 that should be using collagen, specifically True Science liquid collagen. So adding collagen back into your body through your diet and with the help of supplements could counteract that risk. It might even help you soothe any joint pain you're already experiencing. So I hope you're getting the picture now. So yes, you can wait until you have pain so you understand the quantity of it and the magnitude of it. Would just be like waiting for the big bad wolf to come along while you're living in a straw and mud house. Why not build a brick house so that you're already ahead of the game? Because life's on us. Sometimes we know when it's coming. Sometimes we have no idea when it's coming, but I would much rather have you living in a brick house with cartilage and collagen and bones and muscles and skin and tendons and ligaments that are all made of plentiful amounts of collagen, because you're arming yourself, you're activating, replenishing, and you're maintaining because you're drinking True Science liquid collagen every day. That's where you should be, whether or not you anticipate issues or not, because life is going to life on all of us. And I know that for sure because we were all born. And once you're born, you're going to die. It's just a matter of when. And I would much rather have you just go to sleep comfortably and never wake up, rather than having decades and decades and decades of decline until you want to put yourself out of your own misery. That's the key, being proactive and being activated. So research also shows that increasing your collagen consumption can improve overall joint pain. We talked about that. It's obvious now. Multiple studies show that a significant reduction in joint pain is possible. In one study, athletes took 10 grams of collagen per day for 6 months. They saw a significant decrease in joint pain, both while walking and while at rest, meaning while moving and while not moving, because sometimes when we're not moving is when the pain starts to creep up and we have to move to get the pain to go down a little bit. Another study found that adults who took just 2 grams per day for just over 2 months or 70 days also saw a similarly significant improvement in their joint pain. They also found that they were able to be more physically active than those who didn't give collagen a try. So don't be in the population who doesn't give collagen a try, and don't have friends that are in that population either, because then that would make you a bad friend and you guys are all great friends. So don't do that. It's thought that when you up your collagen intake, that extra protein accumulates in your joint cartilage. It may also stimulate your body to naturally create more collagen. As a result, there's less pain, less inflammation, and better mobility, and a better quality of life. So here is the tail of the tape. These are the results. So with this study on real people taking the True Science liquid collagen, the very product, this is what happens after 8 weeks in the people that were in this trial. Collagen density increased by 42%, double-digit increase of collagen density in just 8 weeks. That's powerful. Depth of crow's feet reduced by 22%. And not because they inflated the cells that cause the crow's feet in the first place. It actually improves the elasticity and the tension strength of the skin and the suppleness of the skin and the youthful vigor of the skin. Skin roughness decreased by 10% because collagen is also on the surface of your skin all the way through to the epidermis. Blood catalase or level increased by 202%, meaning the catalase flowing in your blood produced by your body naturally increases 200%. Major antioxidant that your body produces. And skin elasticity increased by 8%. This is just in 8 weeks. That is powerful. That is sign that your body is craving it. Your body wants it. Your body needs it. Your body's not replenishing it. It's not activating it, and it's not maintaining it unless you're taking collagen. And if you are taking other forms of collagen, it's just replenishing it, and you don't see these kinds of numbers because this is also kicking in your body's natural production of it and keeping it around longer once it happens. So as a result of this, and with already being activated with Protandim NRF2, LifeVantage did something pretty spectacular. This is better than Reese's peanut butter cup. Or one guy had peanut butter, the other guy had chocolate. They bump into each other, and we have Reese's peanut butter cups. This is NRF2, True Science liquid collagen. They bump into each other, and we now have a healthy glow essential stack. Screw Reese's. This is way better because Reese's doesn't do anything to your joints except make you tired once the sugar crash wears off, and then you just want to lay down and go to sleep. That doesn't do anything for love life. This does. We already talked about that a couple weeks ago. So hint, hint, go back and listen to the recording of that, because the Healthy Glow Essential Stack is powerful for individuals and couples, and anyone who's taking it proactively. Even reactive people can get this. But this is the stack the Essential Glow Stack, and it comes with shareable coupon codes. You get 3 of them. Personalized website for those of you who are taking a look at this. You're not quite ready yet, or you haven't made a decision yet. Business management tools, the LifeVantage app, and it's just so 2 months supply of the liquid True Science Liquid Collagen, 2 months supply of the Protandim NRF2, and a starter kit for $374.99, which is now an international business to help people that want to be better and live in a brick house, that are currently living in either a straw or mud or wood house and just simply were ignorant prior to tonight. So I'm hoping that you overcoming your own ignorance will help other people overcome theirs, because now you understand something that can benefit them and make a major, major change in their life. So, question, who do you know that needs to be using our True Science Liquid Collagen every single day? Or every day they want to be better than they were the previous day? That's the key. How long do you want to be using True Science Liquid Collagen? That all depends. How many days out of the 7 days in a week do you want to be better than you were yesterday? If it's 7, then right now and every day moving forward. So ask yourself, who do you know that needs to hear about this information? Who do you know that needs to put this liquid gold in their body and get activated at the same time? So I'm going to challenge you. Let me go back to that. So I'm going to challenge you to reach out. Drop a 6 in the chat if you know at least 5 people that have come to mind already, starting in your own household and working out, or in your own neighborhood and working out. How many neighbors across the street, next door on either side, or across the street on over one side, how many of them know about True Science Liquid Collagen? How many of them are over 30? If any of them are over 30, they need to. The question is, are they going to? And that all comes down to you. So I'm going to now say, okay, if you guys have questions, great. I want to know what you guys think. So drop down in the chat. I'm going to stop sharing. I want to hear what you guys have to say. And I want to hear what you, well, first of all, what did you think? What questions do you have? And do you now understand the power of being activated, the power of our True Science Liquid Collagen, and the power of our Glow Stack with NRF2 and True Science Liquid Collagen, and the potential that it's going to have to rebuild every part of what makes you, because collagen is the structural protein that is the most prevalent in your body, and you all have it. So I'm going to turn it back over to you, Jenny.
Thank you, Dr. Dondee. Wow, I'm blown away. You've got me fired up. And I have to say, me personally, I've been taking a collagen supplement for the last 10 years. And when I realized that how much I was actually absorbing, I mean, this is quality versus quantity, right? And everything in between. So I'm so thankful for our liquid collagen. I was keeping track of a few questions. We had Susie ask, can you address lung health with Protandim True Science Liquid Collagen? So I guess that would be it. Overall, we can maybe talk about organ health in regards to how that affects our organs.
Well, speaking of the lungs specifically, lungs are very, very important in our cardiovascular system, because we breathe oxygen in. Oxygen goes from our lungs in through the lungs into our blood supply. So very, very important. But if you remember elasticity, if you remember blood supply, and if you remember connective tissue, all of those make up the lungs. So I can't tell you, I did not do research on lungs specifically and collagen, but lungs are part of your cardiovascular system. They're made of connective tissue. They are elastic. They are made of cells that require collagen, and they have an incredible blood supply. So if you just do some deductive reasoning, one would say what I could expect to see when I do go do a collagen research on lungs, what we're going to find. But that's the thing. If you see that part of type 1 collagen makes up our cardiovascular system, specifically our blood vessels, and the elasticity and expandability of the lungs is going to fall directly into that. So great question, Susie. Hopefully that gave you an answer.
Awesome. So Nanda is asking, my question is about blood pressure. My blood pressure is normal for the first time in years. Only changes liquid collagen. Could that?
Interesting. Well, again, it's the elasticity. One of the things that about blood pressure, so it's either going to be blood thickness, blood volume, or something going on in the cardiovascular system. Because if you're looking at elasticity, if your blood cells, or specifically your arteries, if they expand, then you're now going to have more room for that blood to flow through, which is going to create less pressure, which will lower the blood pressure, just instinctively and common sense wise. The other is the contractility, because if you feel your pulse, the reason why you feel your pulse is because arteries actually contract, because blood doesn't have legs. It needs to move. So you have the blood vessel will contract here, then here, then here. And as it contracts, it moves the water, it moves the blood through the way pressure moves water through a garden hose. So just based on blood pressure alone, If you didn't change anything else, so the other thing is hydration. The thicker your blood is, the harder it is to pump and the higher your blood pressure will go. But if nothing changed other than taking True Science liquid collagen, it's probably the flexibility and the elasticity of the blood vessels, allowing there now to be better what's called motility in your cardiovascular system, specifically in this case, your arteries and your veins. So that's, again, didn't do any research prior to that, but that just common sense wise, that makes sense.
So what part of the body is made up of collagen? I know you talked about that in the very beginning, but as a whole, like our joints, our muscles, our organs, do you know the percentage of that? I think I heard it, but I don't remember.
So all the proteins in your body, 25 to 35% are collagen specific. Now, it is the most prevalent collagen. Type 1 is the most prevalent collagen in your body, which is about 90% of all the collagen, but it's what makes up your muscles. Well, think about the joints. What are the key players in a joint? You've got the bones, you've got the cartilage on the bones, you've got the ligaments and tendons that surround the bones, you've got the muscles that surround the joint to make the joint move. All of those have a very high concentration of collagen, which is why it's so important in joint health overall. But if you look at everything else, your skeleton, the joint, I mean, I've got a model of a vertebra here. So the disc in between, you've got the liquid part in the center. It's 20% collagen and 65% what are called proteoglycans. But the outer part, the fibrous part, is 60% collagen because it needs to be elastic. Most people, when they have a ruptured disc or a blown disc or whatever, is because collagen starts to deplete. And most people that are over 30 have this problem because they're not aware of the replenishing it. So you have collagen. In fact, do this. Just take your finger and put it somewhere on your body. You're touching collagen. That's how prevalent it is. It's how much it makes up you.
Wow. I love it. Well, last question, and I'd love for you to address this briefly. And thank you so much for your time tonight. Really appreciate it. We're talking about, with this specific activated liquid collagen, our True Science, they're saying that it's activating 10 types of collagen in the body. And we know that most collagens are just addressing that type 1. Can you briefly describe, that's mind blowing. When I actually looked at the research and looked at all of the different 10 types as a whole to maybe kind of generalize it, I mean, it's fascinating.
Absolutely. So if you think about it, so yes, it does. It increases 10 types of collagen, but if you look at all 10 of those types, type 1 makes up 90%. So the other 9 types make up the other 10%. So like cartilage is primarily type 2 as an example, but type 1 is the most prevalent. It is the one that we need the most replenishing. To say we have 10 types of collagen that are True liquid collagen increases and replenishes is awesome, but most of the one that we pay attention to is type 1. But type 2 is important. Type 3 is important with regard to cardiovascular, blood valve, or heart valves and things of that nature. In fact, actually, I don't want to bring up my scan it, but I will send you a picture that actually breaks them down on what types. And that's one of the things that we're still working on through the scientific advisory board right now, how we're going to educate the masses in LifeVantage, the role that each of those types play and what percentage our True Science liquid collagen increases. But right now, I would say most everybody pay attention to type 1 because it's the most prevalent. It's 90% of the collagen in your body anyway. And that's why we use marine collagen, because marine collagen is mostly type 1. And it's also liquid, and it's sustainable, it's wild caught, and we're not going to run out of fish. So that's why we have things like, and it's why we don't use bovine. Bovine comes from cow hides, but you guys have heard of things called mad cow disease. Well, mad cow disease can transfer from cows to humans when you're using something that came from cows. But if you're not using something that came from cows, you don't have to worry about that. And that's just one of the reasons why we chose marine as opposed to bovine, which a lot of other sources out there use, because cows are readily available too. They cause ozone issues and all that kind of stuff, and they smell, but so do fish, but they're more plentiful. So, I mean, I went off on a little tangent there, but there is 10. Type 1 is by far the most prevalent, 90%. The other 9 types make up the other 10%. And we'll be given information in much more detail on that moving forward.
I love it. Yeah, I love the combination. I love the approach of activation. And that's what sets us apart as a company. In the products we're developing, we've covered just the collagen tonight. Many of you guys have been involved in our Wellness Wednesdays when we're talking about our Pro Tandem line. Thank you for covering that, Dr. Dondee. So if you're watching this for the first time, collagen is just the top of the barrel. We have got products that are set apart, quality, actually empowering the body to do the work. We're not having to guess with supplements. We're not having to guess at what's working, like myself, thinking I'm doing all this amazing stuff with collagen, right? And then finding out that the quality is not there. So I want to thank you, Dr. Dondee, for being with us. I want to encourage everybody that's watching this for the first time, get with the person that invited you. Don't become a scientist. You don't need to. Just know you're in the right place at the right time with a community of people that love and want to empower and inspire you to be better and to do better. So thank you, Dr. Dondee. I get the chills. Thank you, beautiful Marcy, for helping me with the muting on the other end. And look forward to next Wednesday night in our next topic. And God bless and take care this evening. And I don't know, Dr. Dondee, I'd like to leave it with you. What can you leave us with as we're ending out this Zoom tonight?
Thank you so much, Jenny. I want to leave you guys all with one final thought. If you looked at the research that shows the validation of why collagen is important and the data that they found, I want you to keep this in mind. None of those participants in any of those research studies that found valuable information on collagen, none of them were activated and none of them were taking collagen that was replenishing or maintaining. So activating or maintaining. So these are people that are not activated, taking only the replenishing type of collagen and showing the benefits. Here's the thing. Imagine what kind of results we're going to get when we start actually getting data on human beings that are activated, not just NRF2 activated, tri-synergizer activated. So their cells have less stress, more energy, they're communicating better, and they're taking, activating, replenishing, and maintaining collagen. It's going to be exponential, the benefit. So it's not yet happening, but when the data that is very positive now is on unactivated patients that are only taking replenishing collagen. We have something so superior. And when that data comes out, it's going to be mind-blowing.
Incredible. Thanks for leaving us with that tonight. And you guys go forward. Get started on the activated collagen, get activated, do something great and share it with the world. So thanks again, everyone. We'll take care and see you next Wednesday night.
Thanks everybody. God bless.
God bless.